Some of the most remarkable people in this world don't appear on movie screens or in sports arenas. They work in offices, study in classrooms, and raise families at home. They're just ordinary people like you and I, ordinary people who have experienced something extraordinary and survived. Journey Women Off the Map is a television series I directed and shot over a 12-year period. Unlike most explorer stories, these modern travelers are women, ordinary women who agreed to be filmed taking journeys to extraordinary places.
I went to Mali in Africa because I like to travel. I like to get out of what I know. I like to get shocked.
For the Mali program, I was joined by my female host, Marie-France.
I don't like just to read books. I like to go experience things for myself, to be able not only to compare, but to see different ways of thinking. Maybe our way is not the best way. Maybe there's other ways of doing things. Just before going, I was nervous especially about little things like bugs, what kind of bugs I would see there. How would the people respond to me going into their culture? Because in a way, you're imposing yourself in their lives, and it's not easy to integrate yourself. When I first arrived to Bamako, I couldn't believe I was there. I've thought about it for a long time. I knew the trip was coming, but actually being there is so different. I mean, just the heat wave that comes over you. The setting was so beautiful. I mean, baobab trees everywhere. The red landscape was great.
This is a rice.
The market of Bamako is very different from the market we have here. They're very dark. The smells are so different because everything is in front of you. Nothing is really canned or really packaged tightly. All the smells integrate. When I went to the marketplace with Koro, it was so colorful. People were very laid back. People seemed very friendly, very open.
Those are more spices, les épices.
Koro was just great because she knew so much about it, and she was a really great guide to take me through it.
C'est pour tout ça, hein? Les épices, c'est pour
and the sauce, because the Malian make a sauce every day.
Okay.
And it help to have a little bit taste.
More taste, yeah.
They look really fresh, eh? Very, very nice color.
So, 5.
So this is fresh from this morning?
Every day.
Every day? Yeah.
As you approach the recycling market, you hear this banging on metal. It's like a music. The people are starting with nothing, like old metal bins, old trucks, old cars. They're taking apart all the pieces. They're, tapping them so they become usable again. Basically, from nothing, they can do everything they need. Pails, chests, kitchen utensils. The incredible thing is, you would think from recycling that these things would look, used or worn or whatever, but they look brand new. They really use the resources they have to a maximal capacity, and it makes you think about how much you can waste in a society like ours. I was glad to get out of Bamako because Bamako is a big city. It doesn't look like a big city, for us, Westerners. But I was eager to go look at a smaller village. I was just hoping that I could get a closer contact with the people, something more personal. The landscape was really breathtaking. These huge baobab trees growing on the red soil. All these animals or, bird cries I've never heard before were filling the air.
Ça, c'est les tangerines. Non, non, merci. Non, merci, on a déjà les bananes. C'est comment?
C'est pas l'igname, on appelle ça en bambara sebenoukou.
Clémentine dulu tadi awalnya kan mau kan? Afla ya.
I was glad to see that Wag was going to be the guide. He seemed like somebody that really knew the escarpments. He seemed like somebody out from the past.
That's the plane over there, right?
Yes, this is the Sinop plane.
The Bandiagara escarpment looked like another planet. You get to the very edge, you look down.
The green part.
It was
It's an
breathtaking.
onion garden.
Okay.
And this is the village of Chereli.
It's something you're not expecting to see, and it really hits you when you get there.
The cooking is there.
Oh wow, so it's like a big oven.
And you see these little rocks, and you realize they're houses. That's something else. Chereli was a very lively village. As soon as we got close to the first houses, we saw kids coming out from the rocks greeting us. Ça va, ça va. The market was very lively, all these colors, these sounds, the people talking to each other, trying to sell their things, inquiring how the house is. It was almost like a big feast because in the Dogon week there's 5 days and there's only one market day out of these 5 days, and all the surrounding villages come to sell their products into that one village. I was with the chief at this time, the guru, and he was, very eager to show me all the little different things the market had.
That's what they do the beer with?
Millet.
They do the beer with?
Yes, we make beer with that.
When I first met Dogulu, I was really surprised because I was expecting, a very strict and very important being the village chief, and this guy was so simple, so open, so great. He was very enthusiastic and come here and try this, very proud of showing what his village was about.
Good?
Ouais, c'est bon.
C'est bon, hein?
C'est bon.
Voilà, ok.
Again? No.
No?
I drank already 2 times.
Oh, not ready to do.
Sleeping on a roof is very different. I mean, I've never done this at home. It was just incredible to be on the roof of this little house, and you had the cliffs on one side and, the full moon on the other, and bats going back and forth over my head. It was incredible.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
So this is the French onion garden, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's fine.
It's for the onions?
Yeah.
For the onion, yes.
It's a big land of onions, eh?
Watering.
Okay, they're watering the garden.
This is the onion,
Okay.
tobacco, yeah.
As I watched them water the onions, I realized how we take a lot of things for granted. For instance, water. I mean, we open a faucet and there it is, whereas these people had to go down a well, take the water, come back, water a little tiny part of their garden, and do this maybe, 50 times to cover the whole thing, and they do this every day. And some of their gardens are even on top of the escarpments, so they must have a way to bring the water up there to do it as well. As I went by and I saw the women crushing the onions, I couldn't believe how every little single thing in their life takes on a ritual side. I mean, they weren't only crushing onions, they were singing to it. I was almost consecrating the onions. It was just not crushing them, it was also singing towards what they're going to bring them. So now this is the millet.
Yes, it's millet. Yes.
How do you say millet?
And doggone is you.
What do you use the millet for? It's everything, no? The food?
Yes, for food, for making millet beer.
Okay.
You want to take?
Yes, yes, okay.
Okay, yeah.
How do I do it? Like this?
What? The kind of yes.
Comme ça? Comme ça?
Yeah.
Ok. C'est bon.
Yeah.
Comme ça?
Good.
It's heavy, eh?
Yeah.
Crushing the millet made me realize how hard the life over there is. I mean, if they want to get flour, they have to do this. So the women do this every day. And it's really hard. I mean, these pellets are very heavy and, you get all these splinters in your hands because they're not sanded properly. And again, it's an activity that's got a lot of rhythm, and to give themselves a beat or, courage, I guess, they sing along with it.
Ah, now she's tired.
Yeah, eh? Okay, give me. Yeah.
I mean, Dogulu even pitched in to try, and I thought that was so funny because I bet he doesn't do that every day. So the women got a kick out of it too. I do this for a week and I probably, feel strong.
Namgin ge jay dinen namgin wo jay dinen namgin toy namgin ge jay dinen namgin wo.
As I watched the weaver, I realized again how we take for granted, let's say, buying clothes and things, and they have to make everything from scratch. It seems very, it's hard, yeah. It's not only doing work to have a finished product, it's really a process of doing something, of laboring so you can contribute to your small community. The song about the poor man having to fight his way every day to try to make it, I think represented well the situation of the whole village. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's not very large, eh? So he has to sew.
It's the same like this, eh?
Yeah.
But I think this.
Okay, but he sews.
Yeah.
Like here, these pieces, right?
Look, yeah.
Okay. He makes for the whole village?
Yes, he make it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And do you sell it at the market too?
Yes, he will sell it to market.
The different markets.
Yes, different markets.
Yeah, it's like yours too, eh?
Yes,
Look at
yes,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
I bought it in the market.
Oh, okay. The Dogon took over some of the Telem caves where they made cemeteries in them. I went in there with Mamadou, one of the village people, and he was my guide and explained how they brought the bodies into these caves. In our culture, death is not something that's really part of life. It's something that's a bit unknown. There's a bit more fear towards it than acceptance. For the Dogon, it's a natural way. There's rituals around it, and the caves themselves are where the skeletons end up. The guides went straight into the piles of skeletons and just showing me how the eyes were on skulls and these were the teeth and things. Although I was really mesmerized by all the atmosphere that was in the cave, it also scared me to see the remains of people were just like 2 centimeters away from, where I was standing.
Ça, ici, ça, aussi les côtes. Oh, les côtes, voilà, c'est ça.
I was really honored to be able to do a pottery with Sama, the old lady of the village.
Ça c'est pas bon. Oui, c'est... Ça? Ah, ok, comme ça. Ah, oui, comme ça.
She totally accepted me as an apprentice for a few hours. That's something that really touched me.
C'est bon? Ouais.
This sequence was shot on the Niger River near the town of Mopti.
The young guide I was with on the Niger knew a lot about what was going on in Mali, the history, the geography, how the pirogue boats were made. As a guide, he had to show that he knew more than the others, I guess, to attract other customers. But at such a young age, to know so much and always be very resourceful about it, it impressed me.
C'est leur grand village Somono.
Ah oui,
ça c'est le grand village Somono. Et ça c'est un campement. Ça c'est grand.
As we traveled on the Niger River, I was kind of astounded to look how the people lived on the side of the Niger. Everybody's so bunched up together. There's so many boats, so many things going, especially around the market area. It's almost like it's incredible to think so many people can live out every day being so close together and survive. The Dogons have a very special way of predicting the future. They have the fox. They make all these designs in the sands, which are questions. And then during the night, the fox will come over. The fox will eat and drink and then walk in the questions. And the next day, diviners will come and, answer those questions.
What kind of questions can you ask?
Yes, what do you like to ask?
I'm not sure which questions I can ask, really. You give me examples of questions I can ask.
Maybe you want to ask I will have fine horseman or not.
If what?
Horseman.
What's I don't understand.
You want to marry this year, so you will have fine horseman or not?
Oh, but I'm married.
You married?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Oh, you're married?
Yes.
Are you married?
Yes.
Are you married?
Yes.
It's very fine. It's very fine. I didn't know.
I didn't know how it could apply for me as being somebody visiting the village. So Dugulu, the chief, asked questions for me.
Yesterday evening, the fox came here.
Ah, I came.
Looking for food. He came to here, to pass in here. Your father and your mother and your country, all is very be okay.
Okay.
No any problem.
No problems back home?
No any problem.
I'm glad so far away I can get news from back home,
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
So this is very fine.
Good. What about the voyage to go back home?
The trip to go back home, is that okay too?
Yes, it's going to be okay.
That's gonna be okay?
The Foxman's prediction of a smooth ride back home wasn't quite accurate. We were stuck in a snow blizzard in New York overnight, and the airline lost Marie-France's luggage.
This trip has changed a little bit the way I look at things. For one thing, there's very strong cultural differences with Africa and here, such as taking time to do everyday things, taking time to greet people, find out how they are. Learning to slow down a bit and enjoy what surrounds you, just the beauty of nature. They really care about how you're feeling and how are things going rather than, having a career or something like that. I mean, the basics are more important, which somehow I think our society is lost somewhere. Here, there's kind of this obsession to build tall, rise buildings one beside the other, and hide all the nature. I mean, you can not even imagine a forest standing there, I don't know, a century ago. I think what I've learned basically is that it's important to give and take things, not go to impose things on people, but rather exchange and basically take in, learn a lot.